AM 1240, 95.3 FM, WJON. Gail Cruikshank, Talent Director from the Greater St. Cloud Development Corporation, joins us in studio now for our Get a Job segment.
Good
Gail.
morning.
Good morning. All right, Gail. So it's been a little while since I talked to you because last time it was a Monday and I had colonoscopy, which I recommend everybody doing it. It was one of those pre-screening things. Things turned out good, so I'm happy about that. But that was my first experience with it. It's always the prep day is the worst day, and that's what they say. So,
but definitely do it.
Yes, very important to get that done. Yep. All right, so today we're talking about career exploration, identifying your passions and your skill sets. Mm-hmm. One of the things that I brought up to you, I think, when we were coming up with an idea of what we're going to talk about here today is that people sometimes, I think, worry so much about their weaknesses, and they don't concentrate on what their strengths are.
Right.
Because your strengths is what is going to push you. Your weaknesses, you're just trying to cover those up, it seems like.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's, really so important. And that's applies to a student. It applies to any of us in the workforce. It's like you should always be in tune with what your strengths are and what your passions are. Because I always tell people you spend a lot of time at work, so you got to love what you're doing. And again, identifying those passions and strengths might provide some awakening to some new career interests, new job opportunities, maybe just promotions within your own organization, just because they might not know about your passions either. So we really, talk about career exploration isn't just for students. It is for all of us. It just helps us really get a better understanding of ourselves, what we're good at, what we're most excited about, and probably opens our eyes to new things that we haven't thought of.
People changing careers. Is that more common now than it used to be?
I think so. I think, since the pandemic, there's been more of a focus on what's most important to me as a job seeker or employee. And so I think people are starting to open their eyes to say, hey, I can work a different type of schedule, or I can learn something new, or, this whole thing about continuous learning is, I think, more of a focus than what has been traditionally in the past. And I think people are more anxious or willing to try things new.
Right. Something that they might have a passion for.
Exactly. So, and never explored it before and now have opportunity. Maybe it's through some employer education, or it's through, just a new career they were, told about from a friend, or, something ad they saw. It just gets people to think a little bit, which is kind of exciting.
Is this about just thinking about the types of things you could do? And if you want to try to take it a step further, what options are out there for students and for those that are non-students?
Right. For students, we have created a community collaborative that's been going on since 2018 called EPIC, which is exploring potential interests and careers. And it is really about providing students that opportunity to really see what's all out there. We do an event, which is coming up in the end of October at St. Cloud Technical and Community College, where we've got almost 5,000 students, 10th grade students coming, and all to view interactive activities that are created by our local employers. So it's not a job fair. It is all about trying to get a better understanding of what does a career in this look like. And so that's been very successful for us. And we continue to work with the schools to what do you do before that? What do you do after that for your students, just to make sure you're continuing to make those students think about what are those passions, what are those skill sets, and what do I really see myself doing. But even beyond that, we've got lots of opportunities for any of us. Again, we also do an Epic for Influencer event, which was created to allow caring adults to learn more about careers that maybe their students are coming home from and saying, hey, Mom, I want to do this. And that parent doesn't know anything about it. But also that event really is open to anyone who wants to talk to local employers again about what do I need to know about this industry or this career, and what kind of education would I need? What kind of salary would I make, all of those kind of things. Um, so we've really kind of expanded what we call all things epic, and it's not just about only students. That's our focus, obviously, but a lot of these things will start to apply to anybody. We also created epic career kits, which are based at the library that you can check out, that helps you visualize and learn more about a career. They're free to check out just like a book. And so those have been very successful. And we also have been partnering with Boy Scouts. They're creating explore posts. So that allows you to go onto a site of a particular industry and learn more about it, just to, as much about ruling out things you don't like as much as identifying maybe what that passion might be.
Yeah, trying to figure that out. That's I mean, you're making big decisions that are going to affect the rest of your life when you're 17, 18 years old.
Right. And how are they going to know? I mean, they know what they know because, oh, my dad or my mom does this, or my neighbor works at this company and that looks cool, or, they're so limited, and understandably so. And now with the power of internet, I mean, they can explore anything and I think get a deeper understanding about what it really looks like. So they're not just going blindly to post-secondary education and without a focus. I always strongly say identify what that career is, then look at the school that provides that best education opportunity, or maybe you can go right into the workforce and then your employers will train you.
What's interesting is that I think over the pandemic, and we continue to do these conversations every month during the pandemic too, is that there was seemed like a thirst for more remote jobs. And those jobs still exist, but it seems like there's less of those, and we're moving back toward either a hybrid or more of an in-person job type of thing. Is the desire for those types of jobs also changed?
I don't know if the desire has necessarily changed, but I think people are finding that that sweet spot is probably the hybrid type of situation where possible. And the ones that never did work hybrid and they still have to be on site or they want to be on site, those people are still there too. So I think people are finding that 100% remote isn't maybe perfect either. I mean, I just interviewed a candidate a couple weeks ago that she has a great job. It pays well, 100% remote. She misses the people interaction. And so now she's looking for something different that, gives her that balance. So I truly think hybrid of some sort where the job allows is the best spot to be for everybody considering. So, and if people prefer to be in the office, that's okay too.
Well, and it probably comes down to what your personality is.
Exactly.
That all of us need people to some extent, but some more than others.
Right. Absolutely.
So you have to kind of, I suppose, get an idea of, am I better off in a role where I'm interacting with people a lot, or I could get by with doing little interaction?
Right. Like my brother-in-law, he does not need people to interact with. He's fine. He's 100% remote job. It's IT. He has his projects. He loves it. It works for him and it works for the company. But me, on the other hand, needs a little people in my life.
You need a little mixture of the two,
Exactly.
a little time to work on your own, another time to have that interaction. So if people are looking at what makes the most sense for them, does Epic, especially for kids, does this give them the opportunity to see what that job is? I always thought that I needed to be in a position where I need to see what that job is, to see if I can see myself doing it.
Right. And that is what we hear over and over and over from students. It's like, I don't want to go view something on the internet. I don't want to just watch a video, whatever it is. I want to talk to somebody that does that job and can tell me what it's going to be like or what I need to know to go into that job. And that's why Epic for our students, for those 10th grade students, is so helpful. Our employers create wonderful activities and experiences so that student can then say, oh, I didn't realize that that's what that could look like. Or I thought I loved this. And it's like, they're going to be doing this. Not me. So it really does help them on both spectrums. And then even those kits, and And we have a wonderful Epic website, which again is able for anybody to use, and it's connecting employers to careers, so just talking about, okay, if you want to learn more about X career, these are some employers in town that are more than willing to, are either providing opportunities to learn more or reach out to them for questions and that sort of thing. So really just trying to help people be more educated and confident about the industry or the career they want to explore and go into, so they can be happy, as well as it obviously helps our employers as well.
So, Gail, if people are kind of struggling with, boy, that's a big move to make a career
Mhm.
change, how can you try to calm some of their nerves and anxiety in regards to that?
Great. There is some great tools on our St. Cloud Shines website within JobSpot, which helps any job seekers or students really just kind of do a little self-evaluation, learn more, kind of think about themselves and what they want to do and what they're good at. Also, interview questions, prep, all of that sort of thing. And then for employers, on our GSDC website, there's lots of information for recruiting and retention of talent, and how you can maybe be that employer of choice and things like that. So lots of tools out there, and even other companies are doing great things. I mean, Career Solutions has career exploration for kids, but they also provide dislocated worker services. So if you have been dislocated, you can, have lots of support to try and find what is that next step. So there's lots of partners in the community doing things together to help. There's resources out there, so it's just a matter of the job seeker or the student or whoever reaching out and using them.
Okay, so stcloudshines.com, good place to start.
Absolutely. Jobs there as well as resources there for our job seekers.
Excellent, Gail. Thanks for stopping by.
You bet. Absolutely.
Gail Cruikshank, Talent Director, Greater St. Cloud Development Corporation, with us every month here on WJON.